Imagine a phone so powerful it could rival your desktop computer. A camera system so advanced it makes today's flagship phones look outdated. And display technology that can literally hide your screen from anyone trying to peek at your messages. This isn't science fiction. This is what we might see with the Samsung S27 Ultra. I am talking about a phone that could completely change what we expect from mobile devices. And today, I'm going to break down everything we know so far about Samsung's upcoming flagship monster. From the rumored release date to the jaw-dropping processor speeds that could hit 6 GHz. We will explore the camera upgrades that could finally give us the leap we have been waiting for. And I will help you decide whether you should wait for this phone or grab something available right now. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know everything about the S27 Ultra that Samsung doesn't want you to know yet. Let's start with the question everyone's asking. When can you actually get your hands on the S27 Ultra? Based on Samsung's track record, we're looking at an early 2027 release. Samsung has been pretty consistent with their timing over the years. They typically unveil their Galaxy S flagship series in February during their Unpacked events. So mark your calendars for February 2027. That's when we expect Samsung to pull back the curtain. The S27 Ultra will likely share the spotlight with its smaller siblings, the S27 and S27 Plus. This gives us roughly a year to save up and decide if we want to make the jump. Now let's talk about what this phone might cost you. Here's where things get interesting, and maybe a little concerning for your wallet. Samsung made some pricing moves with the S26 series that caught people's attention. They bumped up the prices for the regular S26 and S26 Plus models. But here's the thing, they kept the starting price of the Ultra the same as the previous year. Although if you wanted more storage, you did have to pay more than before. For the S27 Ultra, Samsung might stick with the same pricing strategy. But honestly, it's way too early to know for sure. What we do know is that Samsung is aware that people are becoming more price sensitive. So they might try to keep the base model at a competitive price point. Let's move on to what might be the most exciting part, the camera system. The S26 Ultra left some camera enthusiasts feeling a bit disappointed. Samsung didn't bring as many hardware upgrades as people were hoping for. But it looks like the S27 Ultra could be where Samsung makes up for that. We are hearing some really interesting rumors from reliable sources. A tipster called Digital Chat Station, who has a solid track record, shared some juicy details. According to them, Samsung is working on a completely new main sensor. This sensor is called the ISOCELL HPA, and it's significantly larger than what we have now. We are talking about a 1.12-inch sensor size. Now, why does sensor size matter? A larger sensor can capture more light, which means better photos, especially in low light conditions. Here's what the complete camera setup might look like. The main camera could keep the 200 megapixel resolution, but use this new, larger sensor. There's a 50 megapixel ultra-wide camera for those sweeping landscape shots. A 50 megapixel zoom camera for getting closer to your subjects. A 10 megapixel camera with 3x optical zoom for moderate zoom needs. And a 12 megapixel front-facing camera for all your selfies and video calls. But wait, there's more to this sensor story. The new sensor might support something called LOFIC technology. This tech allows the camera to capture images with a much wider dynamic range. In simple terms, you'll get better detail in both the bright and dark parts of your photos. Another reliable leaker, ISOCELL, added another layer to the story. They suggest Samsung might use a modified version of the sensor. This modified version could be called HP6 and might measure 1.3 inches. The cool part is that it could maintain the performance of the larger sensor while being slightly more compact. ISOCELL also mentioned that Samsung plans to upgrade 3 sensors on the S27 Ultra. The main camera, ultra-wide camera, and front camera are all getting upgrades. The regular telephoto camera might stay the same, but the periscope camera could get improvements too, possibly with a wider lens aperture. A wider aperture means more light can enter the camera, leading to better performance in challenging lighting conditions. Let's talk about storage options for a moment. Samsung will likely stick with their tried and tested storage tiers. We can expect 256 gigs as the base option. 512 gigs for users who need more space for photos, videos, and apps, and 1 terabyte for power users who want to store everything locally. There's no word yet about Samsung pushing storage capacities even higher. But honestly, 1 terabyte is already more than most people will ever need on a phone. Moving on to design. This is where things get a bit uncertain. It's still very early, so we don't have concrete leaks about how the S27 Ultra will look. The S26 Ultra made some design changes by adding a camera island. This made it look more similar to the rest of Samsung's flagship lineup. There are some early rumors that caught my attention though. Some sources suggested Samsung might remove the S Pen from the S27 Ultra, but these rumors might not be accurate. Samsung kept the S Pen with the S26 Ultra, even though they removed some of its Bluetooth features. The S Pen is such an iconic part of the Ultra series that removing it would be a huge surprise. Here is something really cool that might come to the S27 Ultra. There are rumors about a new authentication system called Polar ID. Think of it like Apple's Face ID, but without needing a big notch or cutout on the screen. Polar ID would supposedly be able to tell the difference between a real person and any kind of mask or fake face. It would also work perfectly in complete darkness thanks to special sensors. This could make the phone much more secure while keeping the clean screen design we all love. Now let's discuss the display, which has always been one of Samsung's strongest points. Galaxy phones are famous for having some of the best screens in the industry. The S27 Ultra will likely continue this tradition. We expect Samsung to keep the same 6.9-inch screen size. It will probably be a dynamic AMOLED 2x display with an adaptive refresh rate. The refresh rate can go as low as 1 Hz to save battery when showing static content, and it can ramp up to 120 Hz for smooth scrolling and gaming. The S26 Ultra introduced a privacy display feature that was pretty impressive. This feature can actually hide your screen content from people trying to peek over your shoulder. You can configure it to hide just certain parts of the screen, like notifications, or you can hide the entire screen when needed. The S27 Ultra will most likely keep this feature and maybe even improve it. Battery life is always a concern with flagship phones packed with powerful components. Unfortunately, we haven't heard specific details about the S27 Ultra's battery yet. Samsung has been using the same 5000 mAh battery size for several generations. Many people feel that Samsung is overdue for a battery capacity upgrade. Hopefully, the S27 Ultra will finally bring a larger battery. The S26 Ultra kept the same battery size, but did upgrade the charging speed to 65 watts. The S27 Ultra will likely maintain these charging speeds or possibly make them even faster. Let's talk about software and the brain of the phone, the processor. The S27 Ultra will probably come with One UI 9.5 running on top of Android 17. Samsung will likely pack in even more AI features than we see today. The S26 Ultra brought AI-powered screenshot analysis and enhanced Galaxy AI capabilities. Samsung's digital assistant Bixby also got some upgrades. We can expect Samsung to continue this trend of adding more AI features with each generation. They will also likely maintain their promise of 7 years of software support. Now here is where things get really exciting, the processor rumors. Digital Chat Station shared some incredible information about the S27 Ultra's chip. The phone might be powered by a custom Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 Pro processor. This chip is rumored to be built on a 2-nanometer process. Qualcomm might split the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 into standard and Pro versions. The Pro version could be absolutely insane in terms of performance. We're hearing about clock speeds that could reach 5 to 6 GHz. To put that in perspective, that's approaching desktop computer performance levels. If these rumors are true, the S27 Ultra could be one of the most powerful mobile devices ever created. The Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 would be the successor to the Gen 5 chip in the S26 Ultra. Samsung has been using Snapdragon processors exclusively for the Ultra models worldwide. They will likely continue this strategy with the S27 Ultra. So should you wait for the Galaxy S27 Ultra or buy something now? Here's my honest advice. You should wait if you're not urgently in need of a phone upgrade right now. If your current phone is working fine and you can wait about a year, it might be worth it. The potential camera upgrades and that incredibly powerful processor could make the wait worthwhile. You should not wait if you need a new phone immediately. The S26 Ultra is already an excellent device available right now. Also, if you just bought a recent flagship phone, including the S26 Ultra, there's no need to wait. The improvements between the S26 Ultra and S27 Ultra probably won't be revolutionary. They will be significant, but not enough to justify upgrading from a recent flagship. The S27 Ultra is shaping up to be an incredible device that could push mobile technology forward. From the rumored camera sensor upgrades to those mind-blowing processor speeds, Samsung seems to be preparing something special. The new Polar ID authentication system could change how we think about phone security. And if those 6 GHz processor speeds are real, we might be looking at the first truly desktop-class smartphone. But remember, these are still rumors and leaks. Samsung could change their plans, and some of these features might not make it to the final product. What do you think about these Galaxy S27 Ultra rumors? Are you excited about the potential camera upgrades, or are you more interested in that incredibly powerful processor? Let me know in the comments below what feature you're most looking forward to. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tech news and rumors. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates about the Galaxy S27 Ultra as more information becomes available. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.